Funko's most popular brand outside of Funko Pops are certainly Mystery Minis. It's a line of stylized minifigures, never more than 2 inches tall, packaged in a blind box so the customer can't know what's inside before paying the listed price. Of course, unless you open it in the store or bring in a kitchen scale, but who would do that? When I said these were popular, I more so meant, overproduced. I swear, there's a line of these for any brand or summer movie you can think of. Want a whole set of randomized Ugly Incredibles 2 figures? Of course you don't! These rot in Five Below to the point that many of them are sent straight there anyways. The only reason I can assume Funko still makes them is because every once in a while, in between a Big Bang Theory or Pocket God set that sells exactly 3 boxes, a true juggernaut spawns. And obviously, one of such is Five Nights at Freddy's. When these first came out, every FNaF fan bought at least one. They were so cool and inexpensive, and as the waves usually contained up to 21 figures, it was one of the only ways we got merch of some lesser appreciated characters. To this day, this is Nedbear's only merch. With there being so many and the chance to get what you want not being certain, these prices shot up fast and are some of the most expensive FNaF merch to date. This is the size of a grape! So if you weren't getting these as they came out, I'm sorry, but you just won't be owning some of them. That being said, Wave 1 has stayed relatively low in price, so luckily I can review some of them here today. Hello and welcome to Prize Corner, the FNaF merch review show where I only give myself 30 days to review 20 unique pieces of FNaF merch and then make a story arc complaining about it. Oh, that looks precarious. You need help, Marionette? Well, alright, he's a real trooper. To this day, Funko has produced 9 waves of these, but that's being generous. Funko will find any excuse to repackage their old models to save from making new ones. And when they do make new models, well, you get about 5. But for now, why don't we look back at the first wave ever released to see where these redesigns originated from. Wave 1 consisted of 20 figures, 14 in the plain set and 6 more in the 2 store exclusive ones. Of course, these weren't all the same rarity. That varies, and the back of the box gives us a helpful guide. But actually, for this set, most of them are simply 1 out of 12. I'll be doing things a little differently today. Usually I show this little slide to indicate how much the item costs, but in this case where they're all the same, I'll instead be showing the average resale price according to HobbyDB, alongside the listed rarity of the mini and the store it was exclusive to, if any. Now, I have 20 reviews to do, and I don't want to be here all yesterday as well, so let's get started on my biggest review yet. The box is the same as the other series at the time, Withered Freddy. At least he actually had a chance of being made in this series, but nope, never happened. The back has these weird drawings of the characters included, and these always confused me. Is it like the old pop boxes where they had concept art in the front? Either way, you may notice that I don't have one. And while I did complete the entire first wave, getting an unopened one of these is strangely pricey, so I decided against it. Sorry, it wasn't worth the 1 sentence I had to say about it. On the inside is this little black bag, and on the inside of that is the figure. So, in what order will these reviews go exactly? I was going to go from least rare to most, but there are actually only 2 rarities here, and ending the basic set of the video on Beakless Toy Chica felt wrong. So I'll just be going in game order till the exclusives. And of course, first up is Freddy Fazbear. Before talking specifics, I want to break down how I feel about this style of mystery minis as a whole. Most mini sets are different, and some can be really ugly. But I love what they did with FNaF. It's a really nice mix of cute and accurate. So basically everything I wanted the plushies to be. Now, I don't love everything. Most of the specifics I can't stand, like the sharp teeth and angry eyebrows. But the teeth really aren't that bad. Like, yes, they're kind of stupid, and I much prefer my minis without them. But over the years, I've gotten used to these, and they don't return in later waves, so honestly, I really don't care too much. Most of the time, my brain can hardly even recognize it, just tunes it out. Although I will say that the angry eyes are much worse. I already didn't like this on plush Chica, so obviously on everyone is just ridiculous. But as I said, never returned, so eh. And don't worry, I will bring up a few of the worst examples when I get to them. Another weird thing this style did is making them all really fat. Like, to this day, pretty much all FNaF mystery minis are short and fat. No matter the character, this is the default. And while I do kinda love it. I mean, they all look so cute with this, and after the constant skinnyfying we've been seeing, this is a nice change of pace. But because of this, anyone with the default style of body, being most of them, have ginormous, bulbous asses. And I love it. Keep up the great work, Funko. But for real, it is really strange seeing some of these characters all chubby and with an ass you can rest a drink on, but who cares? It's way better than the alternative. Another style thing I just can't stand, but to a lesser degree, is how they portrayed the Endo. It's there, just also really fat. Of course, it's unavoidable as the characters are fat as well. I really don't expect these to be accurate as they would be so fragile, but it's worth pointing out since... yeah, I really don't like this. It looks really bad, but oh well. I guess I'm glad it's here than just being missing entirely. And for the last strictly style point, well, man standing. But I'm actually hesitant to add it to the total. But I think I've decided that I will. And the reason being, well, some of them aren't man standing. So unlike the action figures, I gotta do it. Sorry. Overall, I don't mind the default pose. I really love the wide stance. It's kind of amazing. But of course, something more unique will always win out to me. But after the 40th man standing edition, it might get annoying, so let's just knock them all out really quick, and we'll add on the outliers as they come, okay? Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Endo, BB, Marionette, Crawling Child, Springtrap, Mangle, RWQ, and Shadow Freddy are all man standing. And now that my totals are forever inflated, let's actually get Freddy out here. The attention to detail on a figure this small is crazy. They gave him knee pads. Wow. He has these cute little clenched fists, and man, I love it. And even though his microphone is just all silver with a black ring, I'm still happy he has it. It would have been so easy just to leave it out like they did with Funko Pop Bonnie. The top hat is so genius. The ends are raised slightly, and it's so cartoony without being too much. It reminds me of the Snaps line top hat. I just love it. The ears look strangely good. Like, they don't really resemble the game, but they fit the character and the body shape quite well here. Like I said, I love these fat asses, but it works particularly well for the classics. Genuinely, I wouldn't want these any other way. They look just like the game. I'm not kidding when I say that, ignoring unavoidable style stuff, I don't hate anything about this figure. And honestly, with Freddy being such a blank space of a character, he is one of the few I actually think looks better with the angry face. I don't know. I guess I'm just getting sick of looking at his straight face every other release. At least here, he kind of looks like his Ultimate Custom Night portrait. So with that reason, this rather unassuming mini will be getting an 8 out of 10. We've been through this. If it was anything but Freddy, this could have been a 9, but oh well. I think this is a great sign of things to come, and I'm excited to move right along. Right along to Bonnie, of course. In every video, I keep saying that Bonnie is one of my favorite characters, but I keep feeling the need to shit all over him in these. Even when I like the product, I make it clear that this isn't really because of Bonnie, as his design just seems much harder to adapt than the others. So, how is his mini? This is a huge step up from all the other Bonnie merch. Not only does it just look exactly like him, they actually went that extra step and gave him his classic V guitar. Holy shit, what? Funko never does that. I'm sorry, but how did a $5 minifigure get more detail than the $15 pop? And even though it's a little hard to see behind his guitar, the bow tie looks wonderful. Speaking of things most merch gets wrong, his eye color is spot on. Exactly as it should be, and it looks really pretty too. But on the topic of color, well, I do like his purple. Blue. Hey! It might be a little much. I'd actually prefer something a little closer to his promo image on the back of the box. Now, as much as I want to say this thing is flawless, it really isn't. The ears do look nice, but they just need to be segmented. And the fact that they aren't just looks wrong. Either way, these things are incredibly fragile, so make sure you got some glue nearby, just in case. As is the case with a lot of Bonnie stuff, the lack of eyebrows makes his head shape look a bit off. Especially since everything else here is a dream. But before I give my final rating, let's play a little game I like to call Tumor or Cotton Ball. In just a few moments, I will be flipping this mini around to review which type of inaccurate lump Funko gave this toy. Lock in your guesses now, folks.
Cotton Ball.
Neither, because Funko loves pissing off you in particular. It was Cotton Ball! Congratulations, Art Lad!
Yay! What did I win?
You get to answer the iconic age-old question, but what does Art Lad think?
Hooray!
But not now, later.
Oh.
Okay, you can leave now. I gotta rate this thing. Funko! Yes! Thank you! If this little bug bite has to be forced onto my figure, thank God it's a cute white cottontail. This mini is great, maybe even one of my favorites. But clearly having more wrong with it than Freddy, I think the most I can manage is a matching 8 out of 10. Trust me, these are very close to each other, and my bias is saying that Bonnie is better, but I believe that they're fairly equal. Hey, that was pretty fast. Let's keep barreling through these. Our next mini is actually the first exclusive. Wait, what? Okay, only technically. So Funko did this really stupid thing with Wave 1. They had 2 stores have 3 exclusive figures, but for some reason they didn't want to just add 3 more minis to the checklist. So they actually removed 3 from each store to make way for those new exclusives. 2 of those were variants of a different figure in the wave, so those packs just removed that original character. And the 2 others just got entirely wiped from both of them, meaning that unless you shop at a store other than Walmart and Hot Topic, you just can't get Chica or Toy Bonnie. Okay. I mean, why not just remove the more random characters like Endo or Crying Child? Why take away 2 of the main animatronics? Anyway, I'll just have their exclusivity set as retail, and if we get to one that's available at one but not the other, I'll list that too. Got it? Chica has had a rough history when it comes to Funko merch. When they actually decide to make some for her, it is either the worst thing you have ever seen, or like, the best of the wave. So, where do I fall with the mystery mini?
What's the matter?
Well, I actually think it's kinda good. Aren't you gonna yell at me?
Nah, I kind of expected it. Just go right ahead. I'll come up with some funny insults for later.
Right off the bat, let me get one thing straight. Good? Yes. Accurate? Well, not exactly. Not many FNaF fans liked this mini. Most agree that her design is just too different from the game. And sure, the others were changed a bit for the style too, but here, I mean, this is basically a new design. But if I'm being honest, unlike with the plush, all of the changes are so cute and only make the mini better in my opinion. The black eyes of the pop? Here it is toned down a lot and really just looks like eyeliner. Chica's in her goth phase, I guess. Honestly, looking at it that way just makes her really adorable. Her beak is really well modeled for a mini. Yes, the teeth are completely fucked up and look nothing like the game. I much prefer this to the sharp teeth. And of course, her arms are feathery, like a real bird. These are so fucking cool. I really wish that we would get a Chica in the games with these. That would look so sick. The pose makes them even cuter. She is either showing off her beautiful feathers or trying to scare you, and I can't tell which one's more adorable. Maybe this is just another Funtime Foxy tongue situation where people just think it's bad because it's inaccurate. But I just don't get it. Why would you want a more boring figure?
That's not even remotely true.
Oh, okay, so why don't you like it?
Because, well, it looks dumb, and, you know, it isn't... It isn't like the games.
I knew it!
What? I want accuracy in my merch. Sue me!
Then why are you buying mystery minis?
For the thrill.
Now, it would be just wrong to leave out all the normal additions to Chica here, as not all of her is wrong. The most obvious being her bib. It looks great for being on such a small scale, but I really wish it was tied in the back. Defying gravity is Bonnie's thing. Just like Bonnie, her eyes are so pretty. I adore how this series does eyes. The color is pretty close too, especially after being in the 2 Funko extremes. But I can't help but be bugged by her eyelids. The eye's lids just being a darker shade from the character's fur never bothered me, but when they just decided to not do it for Chica, yeah, that definitely annoys me. Why not just make it yellow? To me, that is made up by them not painting the toes silver. I mean, no paint at all is sad, but I'd way rather it be blank than silver. Oh, and her legs look so good. I'm not sure why, but they fit this style so well. I love how the yellow cutoff with the knee pads looks. It's so small, but I love it. Okay, what else? Oh, right, she has 3 head feathers. How did Funko get this right here and nowhere else. They look great in this style, and I'm really happy it's the more accurate design. And that is all of Chica. Wow, for a figure this small, I sure did have a lot to say about it. But I can't help it, especially when everyone seems to think it's one of the worst. I don't mind standing up for a mini. I think it's pretty much perfect.
Wait, I just thought of a reason. Or, I mean, I didn't think of it. I mean, it just came to me because it was so obvious.
Oh, okay, yeah, what is it?
They put all that detail into the arms that aren't even accurate, and then somehow completely left out her Cupcake when all the others managed to keep all of their props. Boom.
What? That's ridiculous. Oh, wait. Huh. You know, her design is so different, I didn't even notice that she didn't have the Cupcake.
Bam! Another epic comic consensus dunk in the book. Yeah, I count this as an epic win for me.
No human talks like this. Yes, of course, no Cupcake is just sad. Why Bonnie was allowed his guitar, but Mr. Cupcake was just forgotten is a mystery to me. But even then, it isn't like the pop or the plush where the design is so hindered without it. She looks so visually distinct here that I don't mind as much with them. But yes, it is clearly something wrong with this mini, or at least yet another thing. But for being the most fresh take on an animatronic in this set, I don't mind giving her an 8 out of 10. Yes, another tie. This is gonna be a really hard video. It doesn't matter if she's technically inaccurate, I'd be an idiot if I said that this Chica mini was worse than Freddy and Bonnie, who look more like their in-game counterparts, but who lack anything really all that notable. I'm sure you can tell by how long I talked about Bonnie, and how long I talked about Chica, but I believe she is 10 times more memorable, even if she is, by definition, not good. But fuck it, I stand by it.
Hey, I got another one. Another reason these feathers are a crime against Fazbears.
You should just stop while you're ahead.
Shut up, you lowly worm!
I'm a moose, but fine. What is it that is so bad about this mini that most people rate it as one of the lowest?
So women are... Oh, hey, what the... I wasn't talking!
Oh, thank God. I could tell exactly where that was going. Okay, these have all been way too good. Hopefully the next one sucks so the video stays interesting. No, God damn it. I said it before, but head shape is everything on a Foxy. And with him already equipped with the chubby body that is very unfitting, does his head make him look at least a little like Foxy? Well, for a mini, yeah. It fits Foxy in the style pretty well. I'm honestly impressed. That isn't the only thing about the head that impressed me here. I love this more angular look. I'm a fan of the square eye patch and the string doesn't go all the way around his head. Okay, maybe that was just a thing with the Funko Pop, but still, it's great to see. And even though his head floof is looking weird, I mean, this looks like a plush. The side ones are really good and one of my favorite design choices. He doesn't have freckles even though the promo image does, so what? But his muzzle is wonderful. The teeth look super cool and way nicer than the lame sharp teeth of the others. And they are also strangely accurate. Even his nose is good here. And that's only his head. But just to be clear, I will be much more critical about his body. His hook is so damn cute, like, aw, little baby pirate. But I would have liked something a little more accurate. I mean, this is a Party City hook. The other metal hand is kind of fat, but nah, it's good enough. What is up with the colors? Like, it isn't bad. The lighter red looks much better than the plush. But something about this shade just doesn't work. Like, it needs to be darker, something more like Nightmare Foxy's mini. Even his shorts are way too bright. And this withering is so lazy, I'm sure he would be better off with none at all. That would have at least felt a lot more natural, especially if they weren't gonna go all out. Like, why are his toes fixed? And it's especially weird with how detailed the rest of him is. Like, how are you going to fully get every detail about him perfectly and then just give up when it comes to the withering? And the reason I'm so critical about this is because I know that they could do good withering because the one place they tried, being his chest, is outstanding. He has his endo in his chest. What? How are these so detailed that the pops still look like this? Please don't take my criticisms the wrong way. The reason I'm so hard on this mini is because it shows incredible promise. I liked the first three, and this is still a huge step up. It just requires another step or two to be perfect. 8 out of 10. Yes, another one. Foxy may be flawed, but he is still one of the best minis in the set. This is only the 4th one. That is either a great sign or a horrifying one.
Ah, nice to hear you speaking my language.
How? Usually you hate everything I like.
Well, for once we agree. Why do you have to make everything an argument?
I'm not doing this.
Nuh-uh, you don't get to quit on us, not when we are at our closest yet.
You are living in my basement! So, we are not friends. You broke into my house and are squatting next to my washing machine.
To be fair, I'm actually sitting.
No, out. This video is long enough. I am not dealing with you as well.
No way. Come on, we've got a good thing going here. Let's just talk this out.
And what? Huh. Why does he keep leaving mid-argument? Oh, well, I'm not gonna complain. Quick, before he comes back! I mean, why spend even 1 second ignoring the best part of this mini? He is sitting! This pose is spot on for his size. The mic in his limp hand looks so perfect. How the hell a 2-inch figure gonna outdo most Golden Freddy merch? Sitting isn't the only thing he does right. The colors are lovely. This bright yellow could be a bit much, but the fact it works so well with the deep black of the eyes makes it all worth it to me. No complaints, this looks great on him. Not only that, but his eyes are done perfectly. No white dots, no regular eyes just made black, just deep pits with shadows extending out of them. This is perfection. All merch needs to have these shadows, as it is a vital part of his design. Is this really so hard, Funko? I mean, Funko did it just fine here. This is one of my favorite pieces of Golden Freddy merch, but I can't say it's perfect. For one, angry has never looked good on him. When I think Golden Freddy, I think neutral or spaced out, but since this is the style, bro is pissed the crap off. He is also missing his freckles. Why is this a consistent problem? Here's a fun fact you probably didn't know. Golden Freddy has one button on his chest, just like Springtrap. It's really hard to see, but it is there. It's easier to see in FNaF world, and Wither Golden Freddy has it too. Since this is such an obscure detail, merch never includes it. Most likely because they weren't even aware it existed. But the mystery mini actually didn't forget it, being the only product I can think of that included his button. Kind of. They gave him two, but thanks for trying. So for some reason, his ears aren't just Freddy's ears made yellow like you would expect. They are rounded. Huh. No one else has ears like this. It was specifically done for him. But it's so inaccurate and just looks bad on him. What gives? Well, I did my research and found out what happened. This is a promo image for Golden Freddy. As you could probably tell, he has normal ears. But if that's the case, then where did those unique round ears come from? How about we take a look at a future figure for no real reason? Here is Toy Freddy, and here is his promo image. Huh. These ears seem to have been made for Toy Freddy, but they were placed on Golden Freddy by mistake. How in the hell does that happen? Obviously, both of these figures would look better with their correct ears, but oh well. Yet another mystery about these minis I'll be thinking about for years to come. Golden Freddy is a great mini, one of my favorites. And sure, he has a few strange issues, but so does most Funko merch. But the real question is, can I ignore it? And honestly, yes, I can. This thing is so good, and who cares if he has two buttons? Well, I mean me, but I can ignore it. 9 out of 10. I was going to give him an 8. Yeah, another one. But decided to be nice for once. This is a flawed mini, sure. But as one of the obvious standouts, not for just the wave, but Golden Freddy merch in general, I feel he deserves it. But honestly, those flaws aren't huge, and to me, it only makes him even more fascinating. Excuse me. So, I've been going in game order, as I said earlier, but there is one simple problem with that. What if it isn't, clear what game the character is from? But that's ridiculous. These designs are so unique and clever. I doubt they'd mess up so hard that I'd be at a loss for what they were even trying to oh. Whoa, what is that thing? Well, it's clearly an endoskeleton, and with the top hat, it has to be Freddy, but we've never seen an endo like this before. The ears and the ribcage would have you think it's Endo 02, but it's clearly for classic Freddy, so it's Endo 01? No, it isn't either of them. It's a new design just made up for this wave. Why? Both of these original designs are great and much better than this. I won't lie, it isn't all bad. I like the bolts going down the middle of its face, and the ribcage is also kind of sick. And maybe it's just that I really dislike the pissed look all the others have, but I kind of dig his discontent expression. But aside from that, What were they thinking? Why are his eyes huge? That and the expression makes it look so out of place in this wave. I hate his square schnoz and legs. Why does he have knee pads? Endos don't have knee pads. That's what goes on the outside of them. It's like they thought that Freddy's endoskeleton was literally the exact shape of him with some cloth draped over him. Like, seriously, what was even the idea here? And most importantly, why does even he have an ass? Are you serious? The most cut and dry review yet, 1 out of 10. This thing sucks hard, and the reason it was made will still be haunting me until I'm dead. And the fact that this is one of the rare minis just hurts me. But of course, it could always be worse. At least this guy has a unique model, no matter how weird it is. At least the 8 out of 10 streak is really broken now. Well, that really brought the mood down. But the show must go on. Whoa! 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 What was that?
Huh? Oh, it's an earthquake!
What? Don't be silly.
I am not being silly, goofy, or even preposterous. Something is shaking the whole damn house, and it keeps closing my dumb screen before I finish talking.
Yeah, that shaking is probably just you jumping around downstairs. I won't be fooled by your tricks any longer.
What? That is ridiculous. I may play word games with you, but mind games? Well, I am flattered. I promise. This ain't me, bro.
Well, you know what? I don't care. Ooh, spooky earthquake.
Haha, very funny. But I'm not leaving until you take me serious.
Hey, see? That big one was just a fluke. I'm sure they'll get even smaller as we keep going. Plus, it works as a better bouncer than Marionette, so all is well. Sorry, buddy. I mean, come on. You're not the strongest puppet in the world. So with all the FNaF 1 animatronics and Endo out of the way, we can move on to the good part of this video. Reviewing merch of the toy animatronics. I'm so excited for this. I bet my next light at the end of the tunnel is gonna be Toy Bonnie or maybe Mangle again. Who knows? Anyway, let's just start with the obvious first one. Toy Freddy. Oh. Huh. This, might be more complicated than I thought. I feel it's obvious to start with this. This mini kinda doesn't look like Toy Freddy. Like, at all. The head is huge, his color is much lighter than Freddy but isn't orange like the game, and they gave him the black eyes from the Office render instead of blue, but also all of those things suck on Toy Freddy, so it's honestly kind of a good thing. He actually looks great, mainly the color. Like, yes, this is nowhere close to the game, and honestly, it isn't even that good. He looks like old bad coffee, but really, anything is better than orange. And the eyes really help him stand out. Yeah, I know it's a weird choice since Toy Bonnie and a version of Toy Chica are both normal, and for some reason Toy Freddy lost his balls. Eyeballs, that is. But that beautiful mystery mini eye shine in black is really pretty, so I really don't mind at all. One thing I'm sure you noticed is that Toy Freddy is sitting. So at another point, for some reason, unlike the classics, the main 3 toys are all sitting, but the other 3 aren't. Strange. And what is even weirder is how this sitting actually looks. Okay, simple, just follow the hands and oh my goodness! Are they all grabbing their asses? Why are they doing a goatsy? I'm sort of kidding. I don't really mind. I would have much preferred if they had like hands in lap or in the air would look cool. I mean, they didn't even bother giving him a mic, but no, squeezing cheeks. Great. Someone at Funko really cared about giving the animatronics fat asses, huh? Overall, sitting is good, but I don't really like it. It is way too inconsistent outside of Golden Freddy. It makes sense why they ditched this later on. Also, unlike the classics, he isn't pissed the fuck off, see? It looks so much more natural like this and fits Toy Freddy specifically. The sharp teeth are still prominent, but whatever. Other than those huge standouts, he has the usual details. The cheeks he isn't groping and the hat ribbon are really nice, but they could have been a much brighter red. It looks a bit dull here. And his ears are looking mighty bulky. Whoops. And, wait for it, he has buttons!
Oh, ah.
This is a simple one. 6 out of 10. Not a bad mini at all. It's really cute and memorable. This is actually one of the first minis I think of from this wave. But past the little issues I have, the main reason I don't quite consider it on the same level as the others, well, they actually remind me of the animatronics. I may hate Toy Freddy, but I actually think he might have worked in this style. But now, I guess we'll never know, as this mini, as good as it is, just kinda looks like an early bootleg version version of classic Freddy. You know what I mean. Your classic tire track SFM model. I'm sorry, but that's the best I can do for him. Trust me, after the last mini, this is nothing. But that's only me. I know it may seem weird to put something so low because it doesn't look like a character I genuinely despise, and I complimented Chica for trying something new, so maybe I'm just crazy. Either way, let's take a moment to ask the iconic age-old question, but what does Artlad think?
Ah, Toy Freddy. New, improved, but no one gives a shit about him. Seriously though, who put him in a game with Mangle and the Marionette? Oh no, little buddy, I was just talking about how cool you are. My point being that most merch does nothing except for improve on Toy Freddy, and make him at least a bit more memorable. For example, this one changes his normal orangey brown to a light brown, though I prefer darker brown more, kinda similar to his Help Wanted colors. But this is an improvement. I also like how cute his little buttons are. Honestly, I prefer his eyes the pitch black like the Office render, instead of his normal wide blue eyes that don't super suit him. I do wish his cheeks were a brighter red, and the same with the ribbon on his hat. I am a fan for the sharp teeth on this figure specifically. I think it fits him in all honesty. All in all, Toy Freddy's a pretty alright figure. Nothing spectacular, nothing horrible, so I'll be giving him a 7 out of 10. Whoa, is the house shaking?
Huh? Oh yeah, it's been on and off. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I guess.
No, do worry about it. I'm telling you, some strange force is affecting our place of residence.
Howard.
No, there is not. It's probably like the cat?
I'm telling you, sooner or later this roof is coming down and I don't want to have to relocate again.
Wait, so the shaking is closing his monitor?
Yep, isn't it awesome?
Most certainly, but aren't you at least a little scared that our entire house is moving?
Nope, because I'm in denial.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like I could stop now. I'm not even halfway through the review. I gotta get to my light at the end of the tunnel. I'm sure it'll clear up anyway.
Well, if you say so.
You know what? Fine. I give up too. Have fun dying, Luke.
I love natural disasters. Man, I got a good feeling going forward. If Toy Freddy was good but flawed, imagine how amazing the other two toys are gonna be. Toy Bonnie is next, and wow, look at those colors. He is so pretty. The light blue and the red accents always look good on Toy Bonnie, but for some reason his small stature is helping it stand out even more. I love it. And not to mention his eyes. Gosh, his eyes are such a pretty shade of green. And of course, those go so well with his makeup and lashes. Yes! Merch never lets Toy Bonnie have the same eyelashes as the girls, so this makes me really happy. This all would make his face look almost perfect if it wasn't for the pissed off look he has. I thought the toys were neutral, but they still are mad, just not with their eyebrows. This is much better, but still, mad does not fit Toy Bonnie at all. A big problem I have here is the solid one-piece ears. Now, Bonnie usually has stationary ears anyway, so while I don't love his either, they at least fit more than they do here. Toy Bonnie's ears are always posed, so these giant ovals just make him seem perpetually off to me. Speaking of missing inclusions, no guitar. I know Toy Bonnie really isn't known for his instrument, but honestly, he holds it longer than Bonnie does, and with his mini having it and this one being empty-handed, well, it's just odd is all. But as I really do like this figure, let's end this on a positive note. He has a tail! Holy shit, they never give him a tail! Funko always seems to give Bonnie one, but when it comes to the rabbit that actually possesses a tail, nope, nothing there. But luckily for us, this mini was given a cute white cottontail, and this is so perfect. Man, it feels weird talking about a tail that isn't inaccurate. Toy Bonnie is a real cut and dry case. He is really cute, but he has all the same problems that the other toys have. But honestly, I can ignore it enough to give him a solid 8 out of 10. Ooh, we are so back 8 out of 10 squad. I don't know what else to say. This mini is simple, but means a whole lot to me. So, with the last few figures being Toy Freddy and Toy Bonnie, the next figure is obviously Toy Chica, right? Well, yeah, but for some reason, the Beakless variant is the original one. Okay. Overall, I'm just happy we got both versions. Usually merch companies do one or the other or have some shitty gimmick that ruins the plush entirely. So yeah, I guess this could have been a spot for a forgotten character, but overall, I'm happy. But that does beg the question, why is the tiny toy Chica missing her beak. This is probably the most stylized figure in the wave, but this is one of the few times where it actually works to make it better. Her sharp teeth make a lot more sense when this is the scary version of the character, and her pissed off expression makes a lot more sense with this giant evil grin accompanying it, and not a tiny cute animal muzzle. I would prefer a more accurate toy Chica mouth, but this one really does look awesome, and I'm a fan. In general, the whole style fits perfectly for her. For some reason, she was given the same eye makeup that Toy Bonnie was, even though in the game her eyelids are actually gray metal color when her eyes are removed. But I don't really mind too much, as it helps her dark eyes stand out more, and it looks really good on her. And I know it's not technically right since her eyes are supposed to be removed and not just darkened, but wow, the eye shine looks really good. She also, for some reason, has one sharp eyelash, and I kind of love it, even if it is very strange. Pretty sick if you ask me. Now, through this whole review, I haven't mentioned her body once because, well, it isn't really unique to her, and clearly the most boring aspect of her design, even if the regular Toy Chica didn't exist. Oh, right, sitting. Let's Party is and has always been a way worse alternative to Let's Eat. And it also kind of pisses me off because can't the skinny Chica like eating as well? Party is just too long. It makes the text so tiny. And of course, not tying it in the back is just as awkward here as it was for Chica. But as her worst aspect, well, it's not too bad. And for her other garment, I kinda like how her panties look. They're a nice color and fit the figure well. And now that I already feel like a creep, are her toes like really sharp? Like, it's not just me, right? Those are some sharp toes. Beakless Toy Chicas are always really hard to pull off, and most don't even try. But in this example, they played to the strengths of not only Toy Chica's design, but the style of the mystery minis, and did a great job justifying why both of these had to be made. However, because of this excellent styling, it makes her stand out, in a bad way, against her counterparts. She looks like she is part of a completely different series, which is why I unfortunately can't give her more than a 7 out of 10. Not bad at all, just kinda weird in the long run. But I still like her, especially as one of the few rarer figures. It definitely feels special. I guess we'll see if the regular Toy Chica is better or worse later on, huh? But how about we go back to normal and cover a mystery mini that kinda just ignores the style and forgets it's a mini at all. BB. Yeah, we really went from the most stylized figure to the least. And whether that's a good thing or not is not quite clear to me. Like, yeah, obviously a giant mouse full of sharp teeth like Toy Chica would look terrible on Balloon Boy. And what they actually did with his block teeth looks wonderful. But like, put him next to any other figure and tell me this makes sense. On top of not sitting like the other toys for some reason, he even has the classic knee pads. He has the normal eyes, just the classic bored to be here look, which is much better than pissed, so definitely an upgrade. I mean, in general, the details on this guy are crazy. Like his triangle nose, ball arm joints, and hands. Come on, these are the best. And his buttons. I even love how his hair is modeled in his silly little brown shoes. Aww. It's a lot of stuff most companies don't care to include. If anything, he looks exactly like BB. But at the same time, I mean, you noticed. This thing is ridiculously fragile, mainly with this balloon and the pinwheel. I don't think I've ever seen one of these still holding this thing, as it's so heavy and only held up by this tiny little stick. And no, I didn't lose the sign, they just never made it. I'm happy that they at least tried to include his props, but they didn't even finish the job and they suck. Not even just that, but his paint job is so bad. Look at his hat. This is just sad. But at least the silly pinwheel looks good. He even has a bit of silver paint. Huh. This is such a weird case for me. I feel that if this mini was in a later wave, it would simultaneously be better and worse. It's a good mini, but with the fatal flaw of not even fitting with the others and literally being made out of glass, I just don't know how many props I can give him. Well, probably at least one more than Funko did. Ooh, yeah, I went there. BB is getting a 6 out of 10. It isn't bad, not at all. There is just a ton of outside factors making me have to, unfortunately, set him a little bit lower than the others. Oh, hey, Marionette, you don't have to do that. Oh, well, thanks. Hey, why don't you go fetch yourself as a treat, okay? Just like BB, Marionette looks nothing like a mystery mini. But, unlike him, this is unambiguously a great thing. Oh. Hey, it's okay. A little shaking never hurt nobody. Besides your mini, I guess. Hey, wait, Marionette! Oh, great. Now everyone is against me. Ugh. It's definitely getting worse, isn't it? No, we can do this. I can make it. I said, a great thing. Ignoring the shape for a moment, the mask is spot on. The makeup and colors are nice, and the extra wide mouth looks so cool in this style. They even made sure this was a mask by making sure the back was open, thank God. I hate it when merch gives the Marionette pupils. In the entire franchise, he only ever has those during his FNaF 2 jump scare. So giant stylized white eyes look horrible on him. It really takes away from this being the Marionette. So yet another point for the mini. Come on, this looks so much better. And sure, the shape isn't much like the game's more pear-like design. It helps it work a little better with the others, so he isn't fully out of place here, so meh. And moving down to the body, this is where you lose me. I mean, they tried their best to make the Marionette's long and spindly body work in their short and fat merch wave, but it just doesn't. It looks like a bootleg, especially with his gross stubby fingers and the tree stump legs that are so fat it makes his stripes look stretched out. He looks more like a guy in a skin-tight suit than the FNaF's Marionette. But at least the buttons look good. Once again, this is not a bad figure. It really isn't. It's just not what I want to see in a figure of this character. But I totally get why it had to be this way. I am just thanking every religious figure I can think of that the new anniversary wave has unique body molds. Oh, this was a long time coming. 5 out of 10. And not so much because I don't have an opinion on it, but more so because I have the opposite opinion for each of the two parts of it. The mask is really good, I swear. Oh. Sorry I called little you fat, buddy. Hey, how about you keep it? I know you'll appreciate it much more than I do. Aw, I'll just need it till the end of the video, okay? Do, you forgive me? Oh, good. I really needed a friend during the... Oh, okay, now this is just getting predictable. Uh-oh. Look, it's okay, we can fix it. No, wait! That's enough! This video is over! But, if I stop before... then what was all of this for? It's just a big waste of everyone's time! Damn it! Anyway, so, I know what you might be thinking. I know what you might be thinking. Oh, right, sorry. I was still mad at you. Well, I got a job to do, and I mustn't rest for even a moment. Let me just stretch for a minute. Shouldn't Mr. Cupcake be with the FNaF 1 animatronics, you washed out hack? But this actually... Okay, that was unnecessary. But this actually isn't Mr. Cupcake, but the toy Cupcake. Yeah, I don't get it either. For some reason, Funko was seemingly really against making merch of the classic Mr. Cupcake. And I really couldn't tell you why. Both the mini and the plush were stylized after this littler guy instead. Best seen through the blue accents and the lack of teeth or the eyelids. You can even see on the back of the box that Mr. was originally in this spot, but was cut for who knows why. This is as simple as a cupcake gets, which means he is kinda lame. I mean, this is just a cupcake with eyes. But that doesn't mean this is a bad figure, no, not at all. In fact, this is one of my favorites of the wave. First off, this guy is so weirdly accurate. Like, look at the candle. This is exact, picture perfect, model accurate. The flame is even lifted off the candle a little and oh, it's so cool. Oh, wow, he is strangely light. Huh. The only thing I don't really adore is his eyes. Not at all figure ruining, it's just that the real one has much more bulbous eyes. And these just look sunken in. But of course, they work. Just like everything else here. These colors are so beautiful, man. I much prefer the blue party favors to the yellow. So freaking good with his bright pink frosting. He stands out wonderfully. This mini is so simple, but that only makes him even more perfect. He may not be a representation of Mr. Cupcake, but honestly, he shows off his cupcake pride extremely well. And I am very impressed. Good job, little buddy. 9 out of 10. Look, I'm kinda mad that this simple little thing is one of the best minis Funko has ever made, and yes, I have 3 of them. This is the only mini I'd ever want a billion copies of, perfect for little pizzeria sets. Hey, see? We are getting through this so much faster, and the shaking has only gotten lighter. Well, yeah, that was good, but... we still aren't at the peak. I can feel it. I mean, the best mini in the wave can't be a toy cupcake, right? Next is, what the fuck is that thing? Oh, right, the FNaF 3 crying child. Right. Honestly, it's hard to consider this a part of anything. This doesn't look anything like a FNaF mini, or honestly, a mini in general. He looks like a shitty brand mascot from the 2000s everyone forgot about. Oh, like the nudes. Excuse me? Yeah, nudes! There were these white faceless dolls Cartoon Network had in their bumpers for a while. They would overlay art of other characters on them so they could, like, have easy and simple 3D models to advertise with. And there lies the problem with the crying child. He looks like a template. Like, the designers were supposed to use this and put a funny bear over it to make the process easier. But instead, they just carved 2 holes in its head. Seriously, these are fucking terrifying! Like, someone just got an X-Acto knife and... ugh, never mind. They didn't even bother to make the tears the in-game gray and just made them blue. Even though they're gray in the promo image. Funko, please stop making these more accurate than the actual figure. It makes you look so stupid. His head is like an overstuffed box. It looks really silly. But not only would him just being 2 boxes be more accurate and make him look much more normal, it would also be tons easier to make. So what's the deal with this thing? Why did they inflate him? Is he going to go floating away? We aren't even done with this part. Why in the world is he so dumpy? I know he's supposed to be depressed, but he literally looks like strong sad. He's so chubby and he's slouching. However, I do like the silly little ball hands. Those are pretty cute. And that's pretty much it, but I'm not done. This guy really sucks. He tried so hard to fit with the style that he became the most out-of-place figure of them all. And that's not even mentioning that out of all characters that they skipped, JJ, Endo02, Any Phantom, Mr. Cupcake, Purple Guy, the Wizards, they chose the FNaF 3 crying child. Really? Not even the FNaF 4 one? I don't use this term lightly, but genuinely, what were they thinking? And with all that on the table, why is this guy so weirdly charming? Like, yeah, he sucks a major ass, but I can't help but be drawn to him anyway. And I'm not even sure if that's a good thing or not. Oh well, CC will be getting a 4 out of 10. Despite it all, I'm honestly happy he was made, if just for the absurdity of this weird-ass piece of merch.
Are you rang?
Huh? No?
But I heard my name. CC.
Oh, you thought I was... Well, this sure is embarrassing.
Oh, shut up with this stupid bit.
What?
Just ask the iconic age-old question, but what does Artlad think already? Jeez.
Yeah. What he said. Sorry, with 21 figures, I thought I'd let Artlad have a few bonuses today.
Alright, I'm gonna need you guys to bear with me on this one. I have a really weird reason why I like him so much, but I'll get to that in a second. I have one tiny complaint, and it's just that I wish he was less white and more of a gray, so that he closely resembled the minigames. And that's it. That's my one complaint. Other than that, I think he's perfect. I love the super huge tear streaks down his face, and how they're a bright blue and they stand out really well against the figure. I love the round, chubby body and his little nubby feet. The figure's just too cute for how simple it is. Okay, so now for the weird and quite frankly stupid reason I have for having an emotional attachment to this little guy. For some background, I'm a Canadian. In Canada, when I was young, there was this series of commercials for food companies called Sidekick, whose mascots were a little salt and pepper shaker. In this series of commercials, the salt shaker got lost, and oh, it was up to the Canadians watching the commercial to figure out the clues and find him! And it was sad. He always looked so alone and scared. And listen, I was, and still am, a huge emotional crybaby bitch. So these commercials really tugged at my heartstrings, okay? And just look at the little salt shaker next to the crying child. They look so much alike, and they're both so cute, and I just love them, okay? Listen, I get that it's stupid, but don't go complaining in the comments about it, okay? Oh, right. I'll be giving Crying Child a 10 out of 10. Maybe it's dumb for how simple the figure is, but I basically have nothing bad to say about him. Weegee, why was the Marionette crying earlier? Does it have to do with the shaking?
Probably not. Anywho.
And then with my help, all of your silly followers will see the beauty of being right all the time and will listen to me instead.
Oh, gee willikers, common consensus. What a jolly old idea. It's just grand.
Yeah, I know.
Are we just
because
gonna let him
I
do
came up
this?
with it.
I'm invested. Wait a darn second. I'm not a child from the 30s.
Occupied.
So the Quake can open the panel now? I think it's getting worse.
You know you can just say the full word, right?
Weegee, I trust you and all, but we may have to do something about this ache.
No, come on. It's just a regular old...
And this is getting annoying.
Definitely nothing to do with me or my review.
You guys notice that when he's more negative, the shaking gets worse?
Huh.
No, it's probably just the wind or my really loud and smelly farts. Better leave just in case.
What? That's the grossest excuse ever, Weegee.
And it worked. I'm out.
I'm worried about you, Weegee. I'm gonna go check on Marionette.
Finally. What are you, Springtrap guys? Holy shit, you are ugly. I mean, let's just state the obvious. His colors are the worst. How are his already inaccurate eyes the same color as his body? What the hell happened here? That isn't even all with the eyes. They are bafflingly bad. They are all black and then his cartoon pupils are just placed in the middle. This genuinely looks gross and so embarrassing. Unlike his pre-release images, all of the wires are the same way too bright red that looks horrible with his color. I know blue and green is less like how he actually looks, but they at least fit a little more. Look at how distracting these giant thick Twizzlers are. Chew your food, Springtrap. But those aren't even the worst parts. His withering is just disgraceful. It is not only completely random anywhere but his head, but also isn't on any sort of pattern. So it just looks like he was eaten by termites. So nasty. It hurts to look at, especially on his back. And obviously, if the figure had no gore, this guy has even less somehow. But I will give him this, the tear in his chest is surprisingly detailed. I mean, yeah, it looks good, but why only here? The ears also aren't too bad. I mean, they are actually bent, unlike the other Bonnies. And the broken one even has his end out, a little wire sticking out. Huh. Actually, now that I'm looking on the bright side, his muzzle is like surprisingly well done. It's round and the teeth are pretty decent. He even has the fucked up nose. This looks right out of the game. Why did Funko go so hard on these two spots and then shit the bed everywhere else? Okay, back to the shit. Fully intact fingers and toes. Ew. Anyway, welcome back, Lazy Funko. I didn't miss you. Honestly, this figure looks way more like Adventure Springtrap, and that is not a good thing. At least he had his one button. I hate this thing so fucking much. I hate this thing. It is so gross to look at, hardly fits the style, stands out far too much, and gets very basic and obvious things wrong. Somehow, a later wave took this figure and actually made him good by having it take place soon after Afton was spring-locked, having this creepy pupilless face peeking out. Now this is amazing. And since this just happened, the yellow color actually makes a little sense. And not even that, but they also fixed a few things, like the eyes being completely overhauled and giving him back his different colored wires. I am so genuinely shocked that they got anything good out of this monstrosity. Mystery Mini Springtrap gets a 2 out of 10. This was one of the hardest rankings for me to give, as I do believe it's one of the worst minis ever made. But it isn't irredeemably bad. There are some merch items that are much more insulting than this one. But as a character who has quite a bit of good merch, this isn't that awful. So yeah, 2 it is. And that was the main retail line Wave 1 Mystery Minis! That one was bad. It was pretty good at the start there. I think that they nailed the classics in the toys. But as we got to the more experimental designs, they just couldn't quite nail it. But not a bad showing overall. However, we are not done yet, as we still have the 2 store exclusives to cover, and and those ought to be the best ones, right? The harder to get ones have to be better than the goddamn classics, right? And you know what? I actually like the shaking now. Yeah, it's like a fun amusement park ride. Yeah, yay!
This is not fun. Did you know earthquake storms can go on for years and only get worse as they go on? A few years ago, 1,000 low-level consecutive earthquakes happened over about 9 months in Nevada. That's around 3 earthquakes a day. Do you know how many you've had so far just talking about fake rabbits made of plastic? I have no idea. I lost count, but it was at least more than 3.
Why do you know that?
I looked it up, dumbass. My home is being threatened by an earthquake for the 2nd time now. I take this shit seriously.
Weegee,
Ugh, what now?
I knew something was wrong. You made the Marionette cry, and you didn't even go after him.
I was busy. I didn't break his toy. It was the dumb earthquake.
Weegee, I know you were causing it. And whether you meant it or not, this review is hurting people around you. You need to put a stop to it.
Yeah, what the scary man said.
No, I can't stop now. If I do, then it's all for nothing. I hurt all of my friends and ruined my own video for nothing. I can't stop. I need to go to Walmart.
Dear God.
Weegee, please.
I can't. Now get out.
Hey, no pushing, jerk.
Okay, I'm going.
Don't worry, Art Lad. As soon as I get to the good figure, then the shaking will stop. That's how this stuff works. And with the Walmart exclusive figures, it'll happen for sure. Because we all know Walmart has the best standards. Glow-in-the-dark Toy Freddy. Okay, that's not a good sign. This figure is Toy Freddy with his body being transparent white instead of its usual brown. This is of course to give him a glow-in-the-dark effect that I'll touch on more in a moment. This is really weird. It makes him look like no FNaF character I've ever seen before, which is ironic because he already didn't look like Toy Freddy. I mean, I guess I get it if the glow-in-the-dark technology wasn't good enough yet to make them their normal colors, so I'm not mad. Oh wait, except it was because Funko also made this glowing Foxy and he was red. So what's the deal? So as a glow-in-the-dark figure, the most important part is, does he glow good? Well, see? I told you the shaking was a good thing. I mean, it's practically as useful as comic consensus is. This guy glows. Okay. The body hardly glows at all, but the head gets decently bright, which makes sense as this bulbous thing is much more important. But come on, this charging glow-in-the-dark shit is so lame and never works right. What's the point of a glow-in-the-dark figure or plush if you will never see it like that unless you actively make it happen? It's so dumb. I mean, if you're gonna give this gimmick to a figure, at least make the glowing impressive. Funko's glowing stuff is always underwhelming, especially the newer special delivery figures. Like, come on, that's just embarrassing. After seeing the Youtooz Pop Goes pin, wow, yeah, anything Funko has done just looks pathetic now. Although, I will say, the black eyes look kinda dope with that green. With the lights back on, let me talk for a moment about variants. Variants of a merch item isn't always a bad thing. It just mostly is. Variants are almost always made to fill space in a smaller wave. I immediately think of the newer mini lines. They will have 5 unique minis and like 14 variants. It is so lazy. But sometimes a variant is just made because the company had a good idea that fit the character. Like, are Dreadbear's radioactive green? Sure, make a glowing variant. Or the classic suits are made of fur in the game, so flocked figures are a no-brainer. And if there are only 1 or 2 variants, I don't mind at all. Like, this wave only has 2 true variants, and both are saved for the store exclusive. That makes perfect sense to me. As long as there are more originals than variants, it's just more content. So, is glow-in-the-dark Golden Freddy a good variant? Fuck no! Why the hell is Toy Freddy glowing? You can't just make a character glow for no reason. You need an actual idea and not just, sure, why not? Sure, why not is a horrible reason! Think about this. Radioactive Foxy being glow-in-the-dark is genius. I mean, he's literally glowing in the original game. So yeah, make the figure glow, why not? But this is just Toy Freddy, but also clear and sometimes green. It is obvious to me that the designers didn't think twice about this. Hell, they hardly thought once about it. Like, seriously, think about it. On a very basic level, why is it Toy Freddy? Not just why is Toy Freddy glowing, why him and not Classic Freddy or Foxy? Why does this wave love the toys so much? I mean, it really isn't that hard. Marionette, make his mask glow, just like Hex did years later. Or if it has to be Claire, Mangle or Crying Child, who are already white. Why not RWQFSFASXC to act as White Rabbit from FNaF World? Or hell, even the Cupcake to be like Phantom Cupcake, I don't know. My point is, anything makes more sense than Toy Freddy. But what do I know? Because Funko must have really loved this idea, as the very next wave was a full glow-in-the-dark theme, which I guess works. I mean, these are even worse now as the accents are now green, so great. Well, I guess if you wanted this exact figure, but even more unrecognizable, What is wrong with you? Oh, right, the actual figure I'm reviewing. It's hard to say it's abysmal. I mean, I definitely don't like it, but not like I don't like Springtrap, you know? It's stupid and embarrassing and pointless, but also inoffensive. 3 out of 10. Funko has done glow in the dark much better and also much, much worse. So, yeah. Oh, and just so you know, I won't be counting man standing status for variants. Boy, this review sure is exciting, but don't worry, our next mini is in fact not a variant. Well, kind of? I mean, it's a fully unique model, but it's also a slightly different version of a character we already reviewed, so I guess a variant. Just not in the same way. Ugh. Toy Chica. Okay, let's start with a hot take. Toy Chica with her eyes and beak? Much better than without. Yes, she is more unique here and definitely creepier, but she doesn't even look like a Chica, just a weird sultry emoji. But with these items, she is adorable and breathes so much personality and is one of my favorite Chica designs. One of. Classic and Glamrock's still sweet, but that's obvious. So, Toy Chica being pissed off. Kinda looks good on her. Oh, no, not here. I'm more talking about the games. Her more evil and sassy appearance in AR and Ultimate Custom Night makes this angry look super fitting. That's why I didn't mind it with the Beakless mini. But here, with her neutral appearance, I just can't really see it. She looks so cute and harmless. It just makes me think of FNaF World Toy Chica. So no, the angry look does not really fit her. But with that said, yes, this mini is so adorable. The makeup and the beak looks so good with her body. It's all so fun. But why the sharp teeth? Ew. You ruined it. You literally already had Chica, so why? Alongside that, her eyelashes aren't sharp anymore, which isn't really a good or bad thing, just a difference. Oh, and I forgot to mention that her head feathers are really well done. Nice and sharp, but super cute. I mean, other than her face, everything else is the exact same as the other one, including sitting. Like I said, I'm glad we got both, and overall I think it's a good thing that the store exclusives were variants of other characters, but not super lazy ones like the next wave, but actually creative and fun. Long dramatic pauses are cool. It's really hard for me to say if this is better or worse than the Beakless one. I think they are both amazing and of course 7 out of 10s, but for completely different reasons. But if I had to pick, Beakless for overall fitting with the style better and just being more interesting in general. But don't worry, the regular style is still great, just a tiny bit less. I think I fixed it! I saved the day! Yippee!
Great. Now will you stop? Ugh, at least this is more manageable.
Okay, seriously. That's it. I'm stopping this, whether you like it or not. Give me the camera.
No! Let's ask the iconic question, but what does Arlet think?
Oh, you little shit. So I have a bias against Toy Chica with her beak on in the games. So it goes without saying, I don't really like her mystery mini. It's not horrendous or anything, but I'm not super fond of some of the design choices with her beak. I know I said they fit Toy Freddy, but he has a muzzle, and they look good on him. The teeth on her beak just look weird. I hate her over-exaggerated eyelashes. On the other figures, it's not bad, but for some reason, on this figure, it just feels like too much on her face, you know? That being said, her colors are great, and she's still cute with her chubby body and her big old undersquares. All that aside, I'll be giving Toy Chica a 4 out of 10. I'm just not a big fan.
What? No, I just had it at a better place. What the hell, Art Lad?
I wasn't even planning on talking about her. You literally forced me to.
Yeah, good going, genius. Now we really are screwed.
No, don't worry. You see how light it got with Toy Chica? Well, now that Foxy is next, or at least the closest thing to it, it'll probably go completely away. Just you wait.
Oh, dear God. Arlet, stop it!
What did he mean by that?
Finally, the moment I've been waiting for. Mangle! What? But this was supposed to be the light. This is awful!
It's okay, Weegee. Just calm down.
All of that pain, all of that hurt for this? Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Let's get this over with. You wouldn't be able to tell by looking at it, but this is a mystery mini of Mangle. This is probably the laziest mini ever made, and that's saying something since it technically has a unique model. So, this is not Mangle. This is Funtime Foxy, but with black arms, and he scraped her knees and got punched in the face. It really sucks because what is here is really good for World Funtime Foxy. They had the plush already, and clearly you weren't able to make a good Mangle yet, so why would you not just make him that? She is mostly a Foxy recolor, but with a slimmer, more accurate muzzle, nose, fur, tufts, no brows, and cute painted toenails. But not his fingernails, which actually is accurate to the game, so, okay. And on top of that, her colors are actually really great. This would be a great mini if it was actually who it was clearly based on. Even then, with no hook or tail, it wouldn't even be accurate if it was her. She looks so plain without them. Okay, let's put my annoyance with which character this really is trying to be, and just listen to what Funko says. Mangle, okay, where is the endo head? The most basic part of his Mangle design. It's just not there. Oh, but don't worry, her left eye is still missing to remind you every time you look at him that they are inaccurate as shit. Alright, yes, the eye is missing. I know it looks exactly the same as the right one, but with slightly less yellow, but that's what it's supposed to be. Around the eyes, they gave her pink rings, which is good, but they also somehow made the lashes pink too? Is every part of this mini half-assed? How about their actual endo? Why is it black? What happened to the silver the others have? Did you run out? I mean, this is an obvious one, but how exactly is he mangled? The name literally means disfigured, but this shit looks straight up figured. Oh, wow. Lines around her legs. Ooh, so impressive. At least have 1 foot be bare. Like, actually try for 1 second. Her tummy is huge, cute, sure, but when it takes up most of the mini and there isn't even 1 tiny spot of withering, it's just sad. Like, genuinely, who thought this was acceptable for Mangle? I assume someone on the team said Mangle should be in this, but after they realized they couldn't make it work, they just gave up. His pose has her hands with clenched fists in the air. What, does he want to fight me? And she isn't even sitting like the other toys. What the fuck is going on? Okay, that's it. I'm giving him a 1 out of 10. Mangle here is far from the worst mini, but it is definitely the most insulting. Funko saw this as acceptable. This was Mangle, right? Yeah, definitely. We don't have to actually try to make her. Just take that Funtime Foxy design we already have passed and put some black on it. The stupid Walmart kids won't notice anyway. How much money do we have again? You know it's bad when the only thing I like about a mini is a minuscule detail like her toes being painted. This mini makes me so mad and is our current low point of the wave. Welp, there goes all my hopes and dreams.
All right, Bob, you asked for this. Arla, get him!
Okay, fine. Weegee, get over here.
What? No! The exclusives have to be the best ones, right? I mean, they're exclusive for a reason. The exclusives in the other waves are amazing, so these can't be bad. We can't peak with the damn classics. This video is supposed to be different.
What the hell are you waiting for? Get him now!
Art lad, please.
Okay, Weegee. I'll let you handle it.
What? Oh, you stupid Canadian.
Gumball Swivel Hands is Pete.
What? No, he is not. Wait a minute. What is happening?
Do what you need to do. I believe in you.
What? Well, that was intense. How about we take a much needed break and head over to Hot Topic, where first up is glow-in-the-dark toy Chica. What is this wave's obsession with the toys, and more specifically, toy Chica? I mean, Funko has made a total of 6 toy Chica items, and 3 of them are from this wave. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve that, I just think it's strange considering how little they cared before and after this. So, what is there to say about her that I didn't already say about toy Freddy? I mean, it's literally just toy Chica, but white/clear/green. It works a little better than toy Freddy since Chicas are often white, but still. Why exactly is she glowing? With the lights off? Okay, this makes a lot more sense. Her body, being covered with her bib and panties, make it work a lot better as the body doesn't glow very much at all, and they help to distract from that fact. And the head looks honestly really good. The creepy black eyes and the huge smile work perfectly with the glowing effect. Yeah, I'm very shocked. Glow-in-the-dark Beakless toy Chica may seem random, but when putting her next to toy Freddy, it is clear how she works and he fails. 5 out of 10. Good is one thing, but to see her in the form that makes her good, you need to hold her up to a light bulb for 5 minutes straight, and she still doesn't glow all that bright. So that means, most of the time, she's just a bootleg glamrock Chica. But yes, she is clearly better than glowing toy Freddy, but that's not saying much at all. Okay, some mediocrity is just what I needed. You know what? I think I can get through the next 2 figures. As long as they aren't some of the most lazily crafted merch items I've ever seen. Anyway, the next exclusive is RWQFSFASXC. Wait, no, that isn't RWQFSFASXC. That's Shadow Bonnie. Look at this character. And now look at the mini. Why in the FNaF world are they purple? Yeah, I guess they were purple in the FNaF 3 minigames, but that isn't exactly their iconic color. And it's even worse when you learn that Shadow Freddy, who was also purple in the minigame, was made black instead. Wait. What? Are you kidding me? How in the fuck did they get them backwards? Freddy even has pitch white eyes, so this was clearly a conscious effort. How did no one notice that they were looking at the wrong reference photos? Twice! I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the Shadow Bonnie review. This is a recolor of Bonnie, except they don't have his guitar, so he is just kind of standing still. Nothing all that interesting. Oh, and by the way, a black bow tie on a Bonnie is weird. Now, clearly, I hate this figure. It took one of my favorite obscure FNaF characters, role-reversed them with a worse one, and then stripped away anything that made them unique in the first place. 4 top teeth, empty eyes, pitch black, nothing at all. But the single worst part about this mini out of everything here is that I actually kinda like it. Visually, yes. I'm sorry, I like how it looks. The purple is beautiful, and the eyes being a slightly lighter shade is great. The use of different purples is nice, but why are they on the character who is iconically black and nothing else? The real reason this figure makes me so upset is that it marked an era for Funko where they clearly didn't care about or respect FNaF. Shout out Bonnie. Sure, just make the purple. Who cares about some random side character when we can turn them into a lazy recolor? It's sad and pathetic and makes me so mad to think back on. But, believe it or not, Funko is different now. Sure, they make some weird and overall bad decisions, but believe it or not, they care a lot more than they used to. Which is why, in Season 3, they remade RWQ and they look so perfect, while somehow still looking like a Wave 1 mini. This is great! And with the same thing happening for Mangle, and the 10th anniversary wave is going back to redo everyone, and well, it gives me a lot of hope. This figure sucks. Like, it's the epitome of Funko laziness. But I can't say it's actually one of the worst, as it still looks fine. 2 out of 10. But trust me, it really is teetering on that ledge. It may not be the worst, but it's definitely one of my all-time least favorite mystery minis. Dang, it cost me like 60 bucks just to get it for this video. Man, I'm good at saving money.
Well, this is it. This last one better be good, or it's definitely causing a sinkhole.
Not again!
Yep, just one more, and this can all be over.
You can't! Please, if you stop the review, I'll move out of your basement! I swear!
Wait, what?
Oh shit, never mind, just do it!
You have one last chance, Funko. Shadow Freddy.
No!
Oops. Forgot he's like 120 bucks now. Even I can't waste that much money on a 2-inch figure.
Oh, thank you, the great Freddy above!
I was getting worried.
Who knew all it would take is making Weegee poor? If I knew that was the solution, I would have drained his bank account weeks ago.
Watch it.
Yeah, sure thing, Toots. Too bad you couldn't find your light at the end of the tunnel. Ooh, so stupid.
That's enough.
I mean, why would you find that, Funko Wave anyway? They suck. Yeah, you being stupid aside, at least we're all still alive. That's all that really matters.
So you live in our basement, huh? Huh? Weegee?
No, wait!
Just like I said in the last segment, Shadow Freddy was made black. which doesn't look nearly as good as Shadow Bonnie does. It isn't even pitch black, which makes this all a lot more confusing. It's a bluish black. And on an RWQ figure, it probably wouldn't have been all that bad. In fact, I might have even praised it. But nope, they can't even get the wrong colors right. Just like with Golden Freddy, Shadow Freddy has the small ears meant for Toy Freddy. How? It's not like it's a recolor of him, it's clearly based on classic Freddy. So did they give him the small ones on purpose? I just don't get it. It doesn't fit at all. The eyes are white voids and it looks kinda cool. But one of the best parts of the Shadow Bonnie mini was their eyes with the pretty design, so we aren't even allowed that obvious piece of something good. Come on, it feels like they went specifically out of their way to make me upset. Somehow even the angriness is worse here. He obviously doesn't have eyelids, so they just lowered his brows like a lot. It just makes him look like an evil fan model from 2016. I hate it. It looks so stupid. Now, to me, the difference between these figures is obvious. They might both be extremely lazy, but Shadow Freddy is clearly even more lazy somehow. They took things I already hated about Shadow Bonnie and then put even less effort into their brother, removing the few things I actually liked. You want to know the worst part of all of this? This is a pre-release image made to show what the wave could look like. Notice something? Yep, they originally had a mini that made him actually look like the game, and they scrapped it! Funko, you literally already did it! Why did this happen? Also, why are both of them here in the first place? Ugh, this whole thing hurts my brain. In general, I don't enjoy Shadow Freddy, like, at all. So I care a lot less about this mini sucking when compared to some of the other worst ones. But the truth is, it doesn't matter this time. This is clearly the worst, most lazy, inaccurate, pathetic, and just boring mini ever made. Like, yes, there may be worse looking figures in the series. Hell, in this wave itself. But at least they actually tried. They really did. In their own way, they tried. Funko, I give you a lot of props. But there was absolutely zero effort put in here. And that's the score it gets. 0 out of 10. Harsh? Yes, but I feel it's deserved. It could look worse, obviously, but when your mini looks like it was made by a 10-year-old in MS Paint and then posted to DeviantArt, all within 5 minutes, well, I just can't give it any more credit. There. I'm finished.
And that's all, folks. It was not nice knowing you.
Brace yourself for impact, everyone. Weegee, I love you.
I do too. Hug me, brother.
What? No. Huh? Oh, I think I get it now. Sometimes ending things can be scary. At the moment, Prize Corner is kind of all I have, and with this, my longest episode yet, it kind of feels hard to go on from here. Of course, this show isn't ending or anything, but with this Funko story arc coming to a close, well, it feels like it's all coming down. I was happy to move outside of the classics. Obviously, I was sick of them, but at the same time, the idea of moving into new and unfamiliar waters was terrifying, especially since, if I failed, no one would even get to see my downfall. Which sounds good, but it just means that I had no impact. I worked hard for a year straight, and not even one person will care to see it end. But with this review, I'm free from my collapsing mind, and I can review anything I damn well please. And that is a positive thing. Right? I mean, it should be. But here I am, mad that the classics are, for once, a highlight of a wave. I have so many plans for the future, and it's exciting. But, I guess I felt that if I didn't go in with a positive start, it would all be a disaster. I was so focused on the light at the end of the tunnel, and so used to my videos ending on such high notes, that I kinda didn't appreciate the good while it was still here. And that was my mistake. Because the real disaster, the earthquake if you will, wasn't what was going to happen once I finished the video. It was those last 6 minis. And getting to them was scary, but when I finally did, there was no explosion or any death or destruction. It was just over. because this is just a YouTube review, and one I had a really good time making. So who cares if Shadow Bonnie wasn't done exactly how I wanted to, because Toy Chica got so much love, and the Marionette was surprisingly good, and the classics were all at some of their best, and Toy Freddy wasn't abysmal. I shouldn't take this so seriously. I mean, it's not my job. It's supposed to be something I do for fun. Maybe I'm rambling, but what I'm trying to say is, thank you for watching me talk about plastic FNaF garbage while I filmed my mental breakdown. It sounds strange, but I think I really needed it. Funko's first wave of mystery minis is honestly really great. I was hard on it, but that's just because when the best of the wave looks like this right off the bat, it makes the ones that aren't seem a lot worse in comparison. But I don't think that's fully fair. So for being the start of one of Funko's most consistently amazing series, well, at least for a while, Wave 1 is getting a very fitting 8 out of 10. Yep, the score I gave more than half of these things. It felt fitting, and I think it earned it. I mean, even with the 6 abysmal ones, there are still 11 that are almost perfect. Oh, and the glow-in-the-dark variants. So you know what? Good job, Funko. And I am so excited to never be able to review Series 2 through 4 because of these ridiculous prices. But hey, that 10th anniversary set looks incredible, so maybe someday. Thank you all for watching. On screen now are the tier lists, and I'll leave them up for a bit longer than usual because of the ridiculous inflation they just created. Yep, that A tier lost all meaning today. If you couldn't tell, this video was obviously very tough on me. I mean, you've seen the video length and the release date. I've been hard at work on this every single day for a full month. And as this is being written before I'm done editing, I mean, hopefully I finished it before the end of the month. Spoiler alert, I did not. Either way, I'm glad I did, because it was tons of fun to write all those super over-dramatic skits in between the reviews, and hopefully they weren't that cringy. But this, thankfully, marks the end of the Wave 1 Funko arc, which means I can finally cover something else besides the fucking classics! So I'll see you all next time for a collection of random Youtooz items I couldn't fit into the other videos that I'm using as a mini-season break. But it's actually turning out to be quite a big project, so no break for me, I guess. See you on the flip side.
So, did you know that we weren't actually going to die while we were all freaking out about it?
I don't know, I guess not.
You guess not? What does that mean?
Well, canonically, no I didn't, but as the writer of this video, yeah, of course I did. But it's obviously based on my real life feelings.
Okay. You know this is real life, right? Not some script you made up?
Oh, I definitely wrote this. I really did write that fart line, didn't I?
Sure, whatever you say, man. Couldn't have picked a weirder furry, huh, Comic Consensus?
Don't worry, I'll be back in character next month. It's just really nice to talk one-on-one. Or at least for longer than a few seconds at the end of each video. Well, maybe you'll see me, the real me, again soon. Oh, I guess the world didn't collapse. I probably overreacted about these figures a little, huh? But why did that cause the world to shake? Ah, who cares? I'm alive! Oh, sorry, I have some apologies to go give out. Hey, Marionette!